Ever wonder if, like, ancient civilizations were onto something big when it came to making their dreams a reality? Something deeper than, all the manifestation stuff we're into these days.
Yeah.
Like, what if they had these, I don't know, secret principles they lived by that we're only just now starting to rediscover?
That's a really cool thought. I mean, shaping our lives, taking what's in our heads and making it real, that's been a human thing forever, right?
Totally. And what if the key isn't some new age trend, but like ancient wisdom?
Right. Like something that's been there all along.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we're going to unpack these 7 ancient laws of manifestation. Think of it like a cheat sheet to understanding this potent stuff and more importantly, like how these laws can give you some brand new ways to look at your own goals and your own journey.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's jump right in with the foundation, what they call the law of energy alignment.
Okay. So at the heart of this law, it basically says that everything is energy. And I don't just mean, physical things. Our thoughts, our emotions, even our intentions, they're all forms of energy.
Okay.
So when we talk about manifestation, we're really talking about getting your energy in sync with the energy of what you want to attract. Imagine it like 2 tuning forks.
Okay.
When they vibrate at the same frequency, they can actually make each other vibrate too.
That makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
Now, the sources we dug into kept mentioning the Ankh, that Egyptian symbol.
Oh, right.
What's the connection between the Ankh and this energy alignment idea?
Well, the Ankh, that cross with the loop at the top, it wasn't just a pretty design.
Right.
The Egyptians loaded it with meaning, like life force, vitality, even eternal life. And just the shape of it suggests like a flow, a connection. Some people see the loop as the eternal cycle of energy, and the T shape is like grounding that energy here in the physical world. The fact that it's all over their art and rituals tells us they were really trying to tap into this vital energy, using it to tune themselves to this fundamental life force.
So for those of us listening who don't, have an Ankh handy, how can we actually use this concept of aligning with life force energy? Like, how do we make it practical?
Well, you can actually apply the principles behind the Ankh in a lot of ways. Think about practices that make you more aware of your own energy and the energy around you.
Okay.
So like meditation. Meditation can really quiet your mind and let you actually feel those subtle energy vibes. And even just spending time in nature, being surrounded by all that natural life force, that can be a super powerful way to realign yourself.
Interesting.
The key here is to really cultivate the feeling of having what you want as if it's already part of your energy.
Okay.
That feeling acts as a magnet.
Got it.
It's like you're embodying the state of already having what you desire.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to the second law. This one's kind of mysterious sounding. The law of sacred geometry. It sounds like something out of like an ancient secret society or something.
Right. But what's really fascinating about sacred geometry is that it's not just one culture. Ancient civilizations all over the world, they recognize these specific patterns, these geometric patterns, as like the building blocks of the universe. And they weren't just pretty to look at.
Yeah.
They were seen as expressions of a cosmic order, like a universal language that connected everything. Think about it. Cultures totally separate by huge distances in time, they all figured out these similar geometric understandings.
That's wild. And we keep hearing about this flower of life.
Yes.
Can you explain what that is? I'd like for those who haven't seen it and how it fits into this whole idea of universal energy.
Okay, so picture a bunch of overlapping circles, all the same size, and they're arranged in this flower-like pattern with 6-fold radial symmetry.
Okay.
It sounds simple, but this design, it contains tons of mathematical relationships and geometric archetypes.
And it was huge in ancient Egypt. You find it in their temples. And a lot of people believe it holds the blueprint of creation itself,
Wow.
representing the connection of all life and this underlying energy matrix of the universe. It's like a code woven into the fabric of reality.
That's a powerful image.
Yeah.
So the ancients thought that by connecting with these shapes, they were tuning into this fundamental code, this universal energy.
Yeah.
And what about the Great Pyramid? That comes up a lot in discussions of sacred geometry.
Oh, absolutely. The dimensions and angles of the Great Pyramid, they're not random.
Right.
They show exact mathematical ratios that resonate with sacred geometry, like the golden ratio. It wasn't just a fancy tomb.
Yeah.
It was probably designed as like a giant energy amplifier, a structure built to align with these universal frequencies to, focus specific energies.
Wow.
It's like a physical manifestation of their understanding of these laws. So for anyone listening who's thinking, Okay, ancient pyramids are cool, but how does this help me reach my goals? How do we make the law of sacred geometry practical?
Well, the sources we've looked at suggest a few things. One is just mindful observation. Look for these patterns in nature, art, architecture. Notice how they make you feel.
Okay.
Another powerful thing is meditating on these symbols, visualizing the flower of life, even having a picture of it nearby. It can actually shift your own energy patterns and intentions.
Okay.
It helps you align with the universe's harmony.
Got it.
Oh, and there's also the Merkaba.
The Merkaba.
Yeah, it's a three-dimensional Star of David formed by two tetrahedrons, like interlocked.
Okay.
It's thought to be a powerful energy field around the human body, and meditating on its form, well, it can supposedly amplify your manifestation abilities. It activates and balances your own energy field.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the third law. And this one feels a little more, I don't know, scientific maybe.
Oh, yeah.
The law of vibration.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It basically says that everything in the universe, from the most solid object to, like, the lightest thought, is always moving,
All right.
vibrating at a certain frequency. It's pure physics.
Yeah.
But what's amazing is that ancient traditions, especially the Vedic texts from India, they understood this thousands of years ago. They knew that vibration was the key to unlocking potential and changing reality.
And of course, we have to talk about the sound Om
Of course.
in Hindu practices. How does that ancient sound tie into raising your personal vibration?
Well, Om is considered a primal sound. It's like the sound of creation in many Hindu beliefs. Chanting Om is supposed to create this inner resonance that harmonizes the different frequencies in your body.
Okay.
It aligns them with the frequency of the universe.
I see.
It elevates your energy and makes you more open to higher vibes, including the energy of your desires.
So it's like using sound to fine-tune yourself.
Exactly, and there are a lot of ways to apply this. Chanting Om is a direct way to work with sound and vibration. There's also binaural beats, which is a newer technology, but it uses slightly different frequencies in each ear to, like, affect brainwave states and change your vibration. The idea is the same. You're consciously working with your vibration to match what you want to manifest.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
It's all starting to connect in a really profound way. Now, the fourth law brings up something that might seem counterintuitive. The law of non-attachment.
Yes.
It comes from Eastern philosophies, which have a whole different perspective on desire.
Right. The law of non-attachment, especially in Buddhism, is a really important part of manifestation.
Okay.
The idea is that clinging too tightly to a specific outcome, obsessing over how or when things will happen, it actually blocks the energy and stops it from manifesting. It's a bit of a paradox.
Right.
You know, Buddhist teachings about letting go of material things to reach spiritual freedom, that really highlights this. It's about loosening that grip on the outcome, isn't it?
Totally. It's
Yeah.
like we get so fixated on the how and the when that we create all this resistance.
And exactly. That attachment usually comes from fear.
Yeah.
Fear of not getting what we want, anxiety about the future. That fear has a low vibration, and it clashes with the higher vibration of our desires. Practicing non-attachment means setting a clear intention, taking action when you're inspired, but then letting go of the details,
Okay.
trusting the process. It lets the universe work in ways we can't even imagine.
So it's about having a vision, but being open to how it shows up.
Exactly. Detach from the how and the when and put your faith in, I don't know, a higher power or the natural unfolding of things. Surrender the need to control everything and open yourself to possibilities beyond what you can currently see.
That's tough in our goal-driven world. Okay, the fifth law brings us back to the power of our minds. The law of thought power.
Yes.
This one seems to resonate with a lot of modern manifestation teachings.
It really does. The word manifestation might not have been used the same way back then, but ancient philosophers, people like Plato and Aristotle, they knew how powerful thought was in shaping reality.
Right.
Plato's idea of the world of forms is particularly interesting here.
Okay, could you explain that a bit more? Like, what is the world of forms and how does it relate to thought power?
Sure. Plato thought that this physical world we see, it's actually just a reflection, like a shadow of a higher realm,
Right.
a realm of perfect, eternal forms or ideas.
Interesting.
Imagine this. There are millions of chairs in the world, right?
Right.
But they all share the essential form of a chair, which exists in this higher realm. What it means for us is that the perfect, ideal versions of what we want, things like abundance, health, fulfilling relationships, they already exist as energy blueprints in this realm of pure potential. And our thoughts, when they're focused and clear, they act like a bridge, drawing the energy imprint of these forms into our reality.
So our thoughts are like the architects of our reality.
Exactly. This law emphasizes how important it is to cultivate positive, focused, and clear thoughts. Things like visualization, where you really picture what you want, and affirmations, where you state your intentions as if they're already true, these are ways to train your mind and align with those desired forms.
I see.
It shows you the power you have, through your thoughts, to change and create your own reality.
Powerful stuff.
Mm.
The sixth law is all about balance. The law of universal balance.
Yes,
This seems crucial for manifestation that actually lasts.
absolutely. Ancient cultures, like the Egyptians and the Taoists, they knew that the universe runs on balance. This law suggests that for every action, there's a reaction.
Okay.
And for manifestation to be harmonious and lasting, we need to find balance in our lives and in how we approach creation. It's not just about getting, it's about giving back and keeping things in equilibrium.
And there's that classic yin-yang symbol that
Yes.
perfectly represents this dynamic balance, right?
Absolutely. The yin and the yang, they represent how seemingly opposite forces are actually connected and depend on each other. Okay.
Light and dark, action and stillness, giving and receiving, they're not total opposites.
Right.
They're two sides of the same coin.
Got it.
Harmony and balance between these forces, they're essential for energy to flow and for manifestation to happen naturally. If you're always pushing and striving without resting and receiving, you're going to create imbalance and probably slow yourself down.
That makes sense. So how can we, the average person trying to manifest our dreams, use this law of universal balance in our everyday lives?
The sources highlight the importance of balancing effort with patience. You can't just visualize and think positively. You have to take action,
Right.
but it's equally important to step back, trust the process, and let the universe handle the details.
Okay.
You need to find balance in your work, relationships, personal time, so you don't burn out,
Yeah.
and cultivating inner peace, trying to be in harmony with the world around you.
Yeah.
That all contributes to this overall sense of balance.
That makes perfect sense. It's about being the creator and the receiver at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, finally, we get to the seventh law, the law of divine timing.
Right.
This one acknowledges that things don't always manifest when we want them to.
Exactly. Ancient cultures were so connected to nature and the cycles of the cosmos. They really believed that events unfold according to a bigger plan, a cosmic schedule.
Mm.
This law tells us that trying to force things before their time usually backfires.
Okay.
It leads to frustration and disappointment. It might even prevent it from happening at all.
I see.
There's a natural gestation period for everything.
And they mention the Mayan calendar as an example of this respect for cosmic cycles.
Yes. The Mayan calendar is incredibly complex.
Yeah.
It tracks all these different cycles of time, not just linear time, but energy patterns and influences too. It shows a deep understanding that certain times are better for certain actions and intentions.
Interesting.
By paying attention to these cycles, the Mayans tried to align their actions with the flow of the universe. They knew that there are times for planting seeds and times for harvesting.
So for our listeners, the takeaway is to trust this larger timeline, even if we can't see it.
Exactly. Have faith in the universe's timing. The source also talks about paying attention to the signs and synchronicities in your life. They can often tell you if you're aligned with this universal flow and if the time for action or manifestation is getting close. It's about being patient and perceptive, knowing when to push forward and when to surrender to the process.
So these seven ancient laws, energy alignment, sacred geometry, vibration, non-attachment, thought power, universal balance, and divine timing, when you look at them all together, it's amazing how holistically the ancients understood creation.
Absolutely. They're all connected pieces of a really profound understanding of reality. Energy alignment sets the stage, vibration dictates your signal's quality, thought power provides the blueprint, sacred geometry gives you resonant structures, non-attachment removes the interference, universal balance ensures sustainable creation, and divine timing reminds us that everything unfolds in its perfect season.
It's mind-blowing how these principles, some of them thousands of years old, still resonate with us today. What other ancient wisdom might be out there, waiting to be rediscovered?
Who knows? It's exciting to think about.
It really is.
But the invitation here is for you, the listener, to start exploring these ancient principles in your own life. See which law sparks your interest and try incorporating it into your daily routine. Even small changes in your awareness and intention can lead to big changes.
So as you go about your day, pay attention to your energy, your thoughts, how attached you are to outcomes, and the natural rhythms around you. This ancient wisdom has survived for a reason, and now you have the chance to use it to consciously create the life you want. It's pretty empowering.
It is.
So until next time, happy manifesting.